What's going on? Vincent Rapsardi, BigBlueUnbiased.com. Thank you to those who've liked, commented, and subscribed. I really appreciate you guys. Make sure to turn notifications on so every time I post you get a notification. And you can come join in on the conversation. So the Giants won a football game today. I'm actually filming this Sunday night. It'll be uploaded in the morning. New York Giants won a football game. They're 2-7. They beat the Washington football team again. Their 2 wins are against Washington. And interesting game. I think the Giants are really starting to come together as a team. I don't know. It's just a different feeling. They're definitely better than last year's team. They may end up with the same amount of wins as the 2019 Giants. But the 2020 Giants, they feel like a way better team, a way more competitive team. But they're definitely improving in a big way. This is a way better team than the 2019 Giants. Even if the record may not show it at the end of the year, they may have 4 wins, maybe 5. But they are way more competitive. So in this game, Daniel Jones finally did not turn the football over, right? That's big. That is definitely something to grow on, right? It's something he needs to continue to try and do. That trend needs to continue for Daniel Jones. His passer rating around 94, the highest passer rating he's recorded this season, highest completion percentage he's recorded this season. QBR low, 53. I don't think Daniel Jones played great by any means, but I thought he played well. He was okay. Washington's defense is good, okay? They entered this week 8th in defensive EPA. It's a good unit, especially up front. Their front seven, very good. A lot of first-round picks on their defensive line and on their front seven in general, a lot of first-round picks. So, a lot of talent, and it's a good unit. And aside from Daniel Jones, you look at Andrew Thomas and Matt Peart. Both played left tackle today, and they didn't allow a single pressure. Combined, not a single pressure. That is huge. That is big time, okay? That's some positive momentum moving forward for 2 incredibly important parts to the Giants' future on their offensive line. Andrew Thomas and Matt Peart. Those are very important pieces for the Giants moving forward, and they're very important for the future of Dave Gettleman. He needs the Giants' offensive line to click, especially Andrew Thomas, the 4th overall pick. And if Matt Peart really clicks, if Shane Lemieux, if he gets some more playing time, we've seen Joe Judge rotate offensive linemen in and out this season, so even if Will Hernandez comes back and he's ready to go, I still wouldn't be surprised if Shane Lemieux rotated in or out, here or there, because that's what Joe Judge has been doing. That's what he's been doing this season. So if they can find even an average player in Shane Lemieux, a guy that you can start and he can be fine, if they can find what looks like an above-average player, Matt Peart, in the 3rd round, that's a big hit. And if Andrew Thomas can improve week by week and get better, and again, at least be average at the end of the season, that's something to move forward on and to build on going into his 2nd NFL season. So things are trending in the right direction for the Giants on the offensive line, their offense in general. Their quarterback, Austin Mack, averaged 18 yards per reception on 4 catches today for the Giants. That's an interesting development right there, Austin Mack. I'm not saying he's going to be great, but again, if you can find a guy who was undrafted and he could at least be an average player and be a solid depth piece, you won, okay? You know, I think a lot of people, they see a young player maybe play well in one game and wow, and they think, he's going to be a superstar. Austin Mack doesn't need to be a superstar. As long as he's an average player and he could be your 4th wide receiver and you can trust him to be your 4th wide receiver, let's just say moving forward, or 3rd wide receiver moving forward, that's a win. So we'll see. It's only one game that he's really shown his skill to this magnitude, his ability to this magnitude. But we'll see. We'll see moving forward. Evan Engram, I don't know what to say about him. He makes no sense to me. Okay, he dropped an easy pass that almost turned into an interception, flipped the ball in the air, almost turned into an interception. He dropped another pass that would have been a clear first down, really ruined the Giants' drive. He had a pass interference that really killed the Giants' drive. So I don't know. And then he made a great touchdown catch. I don't know what to make of him. He's so inconsistent. He drops easy passes, commits crucial penalties, tipped passes that sometimes lead to interceptions and sometimes almost lead to interceptions. And then he makes a great catch. And I don't know what to make of him. It's kind of a scary player to have because, yeah, he has the potential to make great plays, but he's also so inconsistent, and he doesn't do the little things well. So I don't know what to make of Evan Engram. You look at the Giants' defense. Patrick Graham has done an outstanding job. Outstanding job. He's really schemed together a pass rush. That's something the Giants and Dave Gettleman talked about in the offseason, right? Scheming together a pass rush, putting some players together and getting a pass rush going. No true elite edge rusher, right? There's no Khalil Mack on the Giants or TJ Watt, but they're putting pieces together and they're doing their best to get after the quarterback. And Leonard Williams today had 2 quarterback hits. He had his 5th sack. A lot of people are quiet. A lot of people didn't like the trade for Leonard Williams. And not only did they not like the trade, but they really didn't like the player. Okay, so for everyone complaining, oh, it's just a trade, the 3rd round pick and then the 5th round pick, you also complained about the player. You didn't think that Leonard Williams was that good. But Leonard Williams is an interior lineman, an interior defensive lineman who is able to create a pass rush. Okay, it's not easy to find those kind of guys. So if you can potentially make a trade to get a player like that, you go out and you get them. It's tough. It's tough to find good interior defensive linemen who create pressure. And he does that very well. 5th sack on the season. Good amount of pressures. And coming into this week, among defensive tackles, tied for 3rd in sacks, tied for 3rd in quarterback knockdowns, tied for 5th in pressures, and 10th in run stop win rate. This is a guy who is very, very good when it comes to rushing the passer and stopping the run. This was a great move by Dave Gettleman. I know that every beat writer told you how bad it was and how stupid it was, and every fan on Twitter, because everyone on Twitter hates Dave Gettleman. Obviously, you have to go with the trend, and if you don't, wow, then you don't know football, right? No, this was a very good trade. You look at Blake Martinez today. He played great, led the team in tackles, had an interception, great pickup by the Giants there. We look at their cornerback situation, their cornerback 2 situation, right? Opposite James Bradbury, it's bad. Okay, it's actually really, really, really bad. Isaac Yaeda, he's not going to get the job done, okay? He's a depth piece at best. He's not a guy that you want to trust out there starting on a week-by-week basis. So, yeah, they need to go out this offseason and find a legitimate starting corner opposite James Bradbury. It's important to have those. It's important to have good corners in today's NFL. With teams throwing the ball left and right, you need to have a good secondary. Now, I tweeted this out this week, and I said my gut feeling is Dave Gettleman will stay as Giants GM moving forward. I think he will be the Giants general manager going into next season. That's just a gut feeling. I'm not saying I have sources or anything. Just a gut feeling. I think he will be. Because you look at some of the recent moves he's made, big moves he's made. James Bradbury, home run. Blake Martinez, home run. Leonard Williams, starting to get home run territory here for Leonard Williams. He is having a great season. So his last 3 big moves he made on defense have been great. They really have been. They've been great moves. A trade and 2 free agent signings. You look at some of the young players, right? You look at a Giants team that has some really interesting, good young players. From Barkley to Slayton. Lorenzo Carter was really starting to play very well before he got hurt and has had his season end, unfortunately. But he looks like a really good young player. Okay? Matt Peart, he's been impressing people. You look at Jabrill Peppers, I still consider him in that young player category, young core. Will Hernandez. There's interesting young players here for the Giants. Oshane Ximines, Dexter Lawrence. I mean, the list goes on and on of young players who the Giants can really build around, and I think a lot of people believe that those players have pretty high upside. They don't have to all be Pro Bowlers, but if they're all, at least in most cases, depends on where they were drafted, but if they're average to above average players, then the GM did a pretty good job. I know a lot of people don't like that because they want to hear, oh, every player's got to be a superstar. Will Hernandez has got to be an all-pro guard. Well, if Will Hernandez is an above-average starting guard, you did good. I know that people don't want to hear that, but that's just kind of the truth. It's not easy to draft good football players, legitimate starting caliber football players that you can consistently trust on a week-by-week basis. And I really think it boils down to Andrew Thomas and Daniel Jones moving forward the rest of the season. If those guys continue to improve, right, if they play well as we move forward into the end of the year, I think it guarantees year 4 of Dave Gettleman.